So I was in my YouTube studio and to see the most recent comments and replies on my ASMR, on my latest ASMR videos. Liana, I think I pronounced that. Liannadefin64. Sorry about that, my dog. But I think I pronounced that right. But Liannadefin64. I think they butchered that probably. I saw the replies on the most recent on the. She asked if I can vent. If she or he can vent. And I'm so sorry, Liana, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Apparently you are going through an abusive mother and is having a horrible life. I am so very sorry for you. I honestly don't know what to do. I wish I could call Child Protective Services, but one, I do not know where you, Liana, live, or even the number of Child Protective Services, but what kind of a bitch mother would abuse their child and lecture them for keeping their grades up? My mother is strict sometimes on my grades, but not to lecture me on my grades. Sure, she reminds me to study, and I do study most of the time, but the rest of the time I would get too tired or exhausted and take a nap, and I would study tomorrow, or not study at all. But Liana, I'm so sorry that you have been cursed with this abusive mother. You do not deserve that bitch of a mother to abuse you, shout at you, and lecture you into keeping your grades up. And I'm also sorry that you broke up with your girlfriend. I'm very sorry. I don't know what to do with an abusive parent or with a breakup. Because one, I never got a girlfriend, and I probably never will get a girlfriend. And two, my mother is very nice, but she could be strict, but not too strict. Just strict enough to, help me study. She helps me a lot, but you know what you should do, Liana? If I'm pronouncing that wrong, please correct me. You should, if you have any friends that you know that lives close by, or the road that you know that they live on, pack your stuff. Pack whatever you need. Pack as much stuff in your backpack. The most valuable things that you want to get or pack all of that. Make as much room in your backpack to fit all that until your backpack is completely stuffed with the stuff that you care about the most. And then run. And then sneak, and either at night or when both your parents are out somewhere, let's say a grocery store, run. I want you to run. Leave a note or not. Leave a note or not. and run away, run to your friend's house if you have any friends. I don't care if this sounds wrong. Just run. It's better to go to your friends than to stay with your parent than your mother or parents if they're both abusive, which I'm guessing that both your mother and father are possibly abusive, but I think your mother is the most abusive than your father, because I don't know what it's like to go through that. I imagine that it's horrible to go through such an abusive parent, because I do not have a father, and I never knew I even had one. I never knew his name or face. But aside from that, I'm just tearing up right now. Liana, you don't have to run away to to any friends that you know of that's close by. But if you feel like, if sometime in the future, if you were like, let's say, a teenager, like if you're 17, 18, or in your early 20s, you you need to call your friends or any of or any relatives that or any family member that you know of, let's say an uncle, aunt, or grandpa, or grandma, but call anyone that you trust. Any number that's a friend of yours or is a part of your family. Call that number and say that, hey, I'm going to visit. Hey, can I visit you? And if they say yes, then the like I said, pack the most valuable stuff that you the most important valuable stuff that you want to pack. Pack as much as stuff in your backpack or suitcase if you have one. Then pack as much stuff and clothes and food. Pack as much stuff as possible in your backpack, go bag, or suitcase, and then sneak out as quietly and carefully as possible. If you want to go at night, go at night. If you want to go while your parents are out, then go. Go to whoever you trust the most, whether it's a friend, like I said, whether it's a friend or family member. Just go and tell the entire story. And tell them that, and if they ask that why did you, Liannadefin64 has run away, is because of me. It's because of me, Fox God. Because even though that I don't know what to do during a an abusive parent, but I know that even if it's bad to run away, it's also a good thing. It's like, I don't know. I don't know. But even if running away from your home is bad, it's also good that you're running away from a bad relationship with your parents or, someone else. But if you want to leave a note when you're beginning to run away or not, saying that I will not Hi, parents. Hi, my untrustworthy, abusive, bitch-ass parents. I will never, I will not, I will never see you again. And if you want to love me like you do as a actual parent, then I may return. End quote. But if you don't want to leave a note, then that's okay. I don't care if you leave a note or not. But I care. I care that I care for the people. I don't care how many subscribers I have. Well, I kind of do. I don't care how many likes I get. I, I don't care. I somewhat care how many views I get, but what I care about is my subscribers and viewers. Cause why? Cause I love them, and I love you, especially Liana and others. Like whoever comments on my videos, and subscribes, they're officially a Fox Angel. Yes, that's what I'm calling. Yes, that's what I'm calling my subscribers, Fox Angels. Cause why not? Cause I'm a Fox God. Well, not a Fox God, but you know. But whoever else is listening to this video and is also going through an abusive relationship with your parents or parent, mother or father, then do the thing that I said. Pack as much as important and valuable stuff as needed, and run to whoever you know and trust of, whether it's a relative or friend. All right. And if you do know the number of Child Protective Services, then call them. Call them now. If you had enough, then either run away or call Child Protective Services. All right? Because if you're still in that house with those cursed asshole of a parent, then I don't know what to do. But still, you should not. No one has to ever, and I mean ever, have to live in the same house as their abusive parents. It's not okay. Alright? So, Liana, if you know any friends or family members that lives close by, then I want you to call them, saying that you're gonna pay a visit, and then once you pack all your stuff and get to their house, you're gonna tell them the whole thing. You're even and maybe even show this video on why you ran away. Because it's not okay. It's never fucking okay for a parent that has birthed and raised their child only to use them as a punching bag. Alright? No one has to ever, and I mean ever, to go through an abusive relationship, whether it's a parent or boyfriend or girlfriend or any of that. Alright? Because if my mother was abusive, even though that she has never ever, even though that she told me that she has never ever hit me or screamed at me before, though she did a few times, but she was only joking around or to get my attention. But if she was abusive and she would hit me or scream at me, that I would pack as much valuable stuff as I can, call my friends who live close by, because my grandma, grandpa, and others live very far away. They're like, I'm in Sacramento, and my grandpa and grandma live in Los Angeles. Yes, they're very far. Same goes for my uncle and aunt. But I would call my friends who is the nearest and say, hey, I'm gonna pay a visit. Is that okay? And say okay, then I will pack as much as valuable important stuff as I can in my backpack or suitcase and run and sneak out either at night or while mom is at work. And I will run. I will run downstairs and run across a parking lot through across the road on the sidewalk and run to my friends and tell the entire story. But but my mother is nice. She never hit me or screamed at me. The only time she does scream at me is to get my attention in a loud crowd, or when she's only joking around. But yeah. Now, Lianna, if I pronounced that wrong, I'm so sorry that you have been cursed with a bitch of a mother. She is not doing her job as she was supposed to do. Because her only job, her lifetime job, is to care and support you. But she's doing that wrong. So Lianna, if you are older, if you are at, I don't know, around 18 or older, then I want you to run. I want you to pack as many things, leave a note or not for your damn parents, and run to whoever you trust the most, and tell them that what your bitch parents are doing. All right. Because if I see a video that says I've run away because of Fox God, thank you. Or no, it didn't come out right. I've run away thanks to Fox God. And if I see that video with that exact title, well, not exact, but with that title, then I will be so happy. All right. But yeah. Lianna, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm so very sorry. You do not deserve that bitch of a fucking mother. And what I've heard is that you hurt yourself. You do, self-hurt yourself. Self-harm. There, I said it. Because I have MDD, major depressive disorder. But I never have had a blade on my skin and go across to make a line of blood. No, I never done that. The only time I did have a scratch was by accident. But I did have a nightmare when I was like around 14. Around 14, I did have a nightmare where my depression was so bad that it messed with my dreams. It caused me to have nightmares, or a nightmare because it was only one, a nightmare where I was hurting myself across the vein in my wrist. But that never happened. Then I was taken to therapy, and now I feel much better. Even though that I would feel depressed from time to time, it's not major or something. I would just feel down and just low on energy. But yeah. But Lianna, please get help for both yourself hurting and your parents. Call a therapist and for your self-harming, and call a person that you trust of to run to their house and potentially live there. All right? Because I don't want anyone with an abusive parent or parents to live in their house And I don't want them to hurt themselves or to accept their fate. Because you have so much to live for. Alright? Because back in 2020, if anyone remembers, there were more deaths to suicide than Corona itself. I'm not joking. I did the research on how many deaths there were in 2020, and I got over 1 billion deaths in suicide than in Corona. So please, Liana, please don't accept your fate. Don't stop hurting yourself. Don't live with your parents anymore. Live with someone else. Live with a better person that will treat you right. A friend or a family member that lives close by. And tell them on what happened and what's going on with you. Don't hide it. All right? Don't hide your scars. Because eventually they'll find out. Alright? But eventually you will also have to have the courage to show on what you were doing back at their house. Alright? Not only does that include you, Liana, but it includes everyone that's going through the same curse like life as Liana is going through. Alright? Don't hurt yourself. Don't accept your fate. Don't live with the parents that have hurt you. Live with someone that will treat you better and get help now. Alright? Never look back. Never go back to those parents. So please, get help. Don't live with those parents. Live with someone else. Your friends or a family member.